Yo, it's Jivu. I hope you're having a stellar day today, and in this video, I'm going to be telling y'all what your favorite vehicle tells me about you. Now, quickly, I do want to say, obviously, these vehicles are going to perfectly tell me your personality, so there's no way that you can go into the comments and tell me I'm wrong and how you actually use these vehicles. So let's jump right in with the first one being the Buffalo STX. Now, what this tells me about you is that you are just obsessed with Hellcats. You wish you had one in real life. I don't want to say the obvious stereotype, but we're all thinking it. Now, I'm obviously just joking, but the vehicle's not that bad. It actually has good speed. It has a Monty Tech, so it's a pretty good vehicle to ride around, but there are just way better alternatives. So if you drive this one, you're just obsessed with Hellcats. Next up, I got the F1 cars, and this is very similar to the Hellcat in the way that if you drive F1 cars, I feel like you just like F1 in real life, and that's why you drive them, because the top speed on these are pretty dookie. The acceleration is alright. It has the boost, and it has really good handling, but there's nothing special to it. No Amani Tech, no HSW, just a little booster that goes for like 0.5 seconds. So if you drive the F1 cars, you probably just like the F1 cars in real life, and you like how they handle too, because you could be flying through these streets and cutting around corners. Let's go ahead and talk about some HSW now. So Banshee GTS. If you drive the Banshee, you obviously got a little bit of driving skill, and you don't like wasting time in GTA. It's got the highest top speed, so if you see you going to Paleto Bay or Grapeseed, you pulling out the Banshee GTS and you flying up that highway at 177 miles an hour. Now, this thing does spin out really easy and doesn't have the best grip, so like I say, if you have this one, you probably know how to drive pretty well. Now, PC players, if you weren't listening to the last one, make sure you listen up for this one, because we got the Niobe up next. The Niobe is like the easiest HSW vehicle to drive. It's got all-wheel drive, amazing acceleration, good handling, so if you want to get an HSW vehicle, but the other ones feel kind of hard to drive, this is going to be the one to go to. It's got the second highest top speed, so it's not going to be the fastest, but if you're driving in the city, probably going to be faster than the Banshee because of the way it can go around corners. When I see someone in the Niobe, I know they either know how to drive or they just want to get to where they want to be. Now that we've talked about HSW, let's talk about non-HSW cars. So I'm going to group kind of a lot of these together, like the Itali GTB, the Pariah, all the faster cars that aren't HSW. If I see you driving one of these, you probably don't know about HSW. You driving around these cars thinking that they're the fastest in the game, and you don't even know that How over there at the car meet can make your car 3 times as fast. But I'm not going to complain, because when I see y'all, I want to race you real bad, because y'all probably don't even know that my car can go 40 miles an hour faster than y'all. Now, this doesn't have to go for every non-HSW vehicle, because there are a lot of Amani Tech vehicles in the game now that are pretty fast and protective, so you might be in an Amani Tech vehicle, but if you're just in a base non-HSW car, I'm kind of doubting your knowledge. Since we're talking about protective cars, let's go ahead and talk about the Night Shark. So when I see someone in the Night Shark, I always check their level, because at the beginning of the game on Expanded and Enhanced, they actually give you the Night Shark as an option for a first vehicle. But if I see you in this, I know you either are feared and you're causing mayhem out in these streets, or you don't want to have any fear, so you're driving through the roads and you feel extremely protected in this vehicle. Occasionally, you do see a griefer using the Night Shark, but when I see that, I know they probably don't know what they're doing, because they pull up getting all close thinking their windows are fully bulletproof, and then I just beam them through it. Please don't be that guy. I don't want to give any new griefers any ideas, but I'm going to go over some griefing vehicles next. So obviously we have the Mark II. Anybody in a Mark II is either a griefer or they're a grinder. They just want to fly to the destination, blow up all the bad guys, or like I say, you're a griefer and you're just trying to blow up every single person in the lobby. We also have the Toriator / Deluxo. If I see you in one of these, I'm probably scared for about 5 seconds, and then if I see you going away from me, I know you're just going to get a mission done. On next gen, you don't see too many people using the Mark II, Toriator, or Deluxo to grief, because after all these years, it just gets boring. All you gotta do is hold right trigger in the Mark II or the Deluxo, and the Toriator's just a tank on wheels. So I think people that use that for griefing kind of got bored of it after a little bit. And let me save you the hassle. If you're using a Mark II for grinding or a Deluxo for grinding, you probably want to switch to a normal vehicle, because the game is called GTA. It's about driving and cars, and if you're just flying something back and forth to each destination, it could definitely get boring quick. If I see you in a Mark II, there are a lot of different ways I can feel about you. If I see you in a Deluxo, I know you're probably a pretty chill guy. And the Toriator, I'm just immediately assuming you griefing. There is another class of vehicles, or two I should say, that can get pretty boring quick, and that's going to be planes and helicopters. They are more engaging than a Deluxo or a Mark II, because you do have to land them successfully, but we all know the best way to get out of a plane or a helicopter is just to parachute from a mile in the air. Now, I'm sorry if you use a plane or a helicopter, but I do have here in my notes that if you drive one of these, you don't know how to drive, and it doesn't have to be that way. You could also just not prefer to drive, but like I say, the game's GTA, right? If you don't know how to drive, then go play Red Dead or something. But again, it doesn't have to be that way. I know this game does tell you to drive 4 miles across the map a lot of the time. I'd be flying planes and helicopters, but I try to save it for more than 4 miles. Now, I got 2 more obsolete ways of travel here on the list. We got trucks, which I feel like if you drive a truck in the game, you probably just want a truck in real life, because the trucks in the game don't necessarily feel like trucks. So if you have a truck in real life, you know that. and you get your satiation of truck driving in real life. You don't got to play GTA for it. Not to mention, there isn't very many places to go off-roading or where you would really need a truck in GTA, so it's not your fault, but it's kind of useless. And then I also got bikes on here. If you drive a bike, you probably drive a bike in real life, or you want to, and it's very fun to get around town. If you drive a bike in real life, you probably drive the same way you do in GTA, because you can cut in between cars, you can lane split, you can go into tight places, go up on a sidewalk if you want. The bikes are actually very versatile. I'd say just about the only thing you could do in GTA that you can't do in real life would be to pop a wheelie so you can jump over a wall, and obviously bike glitching as well, where you just fly upside down in the air. But that does it. That's every vehicle I have on my list here. If I missed anything, drop a comment down below. Let me know what vehicle you drive and how you use it. Also, like I said at the beginning, if I talked about your vehicle in this video and I was wrong, then you're just lying to yourself. I can't be wrong. So definitely don't go in the comments and tell me how you use these vehicles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, I'll see y'all in the next one.